T-minus 10 minutes and counting. Everything remains go. The terminal sequence, auto sequence, has been initiated. Everything will be automatic from this point forward. 9 minutes and 40 seconds away from the beginning of the test. This test is being performed under the Commercial Crew Integrated Capability Agreement between SpaceX and NASA, but it can be used for the developmental flight as SpaceX continues on the path to certification. Both SpaceX and Boeing are working under separate commercial crew transportation capability contracts to complete the development of their spacecraft and flight systems ahead of flight tests in 2017 to certify their use in operational flights to the International Space Station. The Dragon Inertial Measurement Unit alignment has begun. This will help guide the spacecraft on its short journey off the launch pad to the Atlantic Ocean this morning. T-minus 8 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. And the inertial measurement unit alignment is complete, just under 8 minutes and counting. T-minus 7 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. Launch Director Kiko Donchev informing the team that weather is go, all systems are go, and we are go for the test at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. T-minus 7 minutes and counting. Dragon has transitioned from battery power to, or from external power to internal battery power, and will remain this way throughout the test. Six minutes, 30 seconds and counting. The propulsion system is about to be pressurized. T-minus 6 minutes and counting. Hypergolic propellants, the monomethyl hydrazine and nitrogen tetroxide, pressurized for the test. The propellant tanks are pressurized and everything remains go. Sea states predicted to be about 5 feet waves. It's within limits for recovery, and there are 3 SpaceX recovery boats on station and ready to make the recovery after today's test. Just under 5 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. T-minus 5 minutes and counting. Latest wind data from Launch Weather Officer Mike McAleenan. 21-knot winds in the area, which is within the 25-knot limit. Everything remains go. T-minus 4 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. T-minus 4 minutes and counting. T-minus 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Everything is go.
Aperture is high. TDOS is recording. Video encoders are on. GoPro camera recording has been triggered.
Recording devices that are in place to document today's test have been activated. High-speed recorders will document every aspect.
Go for launch. This is a transient current on TDOS.
T-minus 3 minutes. Still go for launch.
Cabin fans are off.
ACQD disconnected and gas flow closed out.
These calls are expected. This is per the plan. 2 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. Standing by for a final go for launch.
LD verified. Go for launch.
LD is go for SpaceX Pad Abort Test.
Launch Director Kiko Donchev is go for the Pad Abort Test. Coming up on T-minus 2 minutes. 2 minutes and counting. No technical issues and everything is green on the weather board. Recovery craft on station just offshore from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. The Dragon spacecraft at Space Launch Complex 40. T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Dragon is in countdown. T-minus 58 seconds.
Everything remains go. The Dragon and trunk, 20 feet tall as you see them, will lift off. The 8 Super Draco engines will burn for 8 seconds, and the trunk will then detach, fall into the ocean when the spacecraft reaches apogee. The Dragon will deploy drogue chutes, then main chutes, and parachute into the water. The entire test should last about 90
T-minus
seconds.
30 seconds. T-minus 20.
Power deployment is nominal.
15.
T-minus 10.
10.
9.
9.
8.
8.
7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2, 1.
Launch.
And we have ignition. The Super Dracos have ignited and are pushing the Crew Dragon off the pad.
Burn up.
Engines
50
shut down.
meters per second.
Engines have shut down as planned after about a 5.5 second burn.
We're over 1 kilometer.
The trunk has detached.
Trunk deploy.
Dragon is tumbling as planned. The drogue chute has deployed as planned.
Drugs look good.
Drogues look good.
Sequencing domains. Passing through 600 meters. Downrange distance.
The main parachutes, all three, have opened, gently lowering the Dragon test article to the ocean surface.
Hang tight, everyone.
One minute into flight.
Dragon is at terminal velocity.
Dragon is at terminal velocity.
Global.
Spacecraft gently being lowered to the Atlantic Ocean.
Avionics global.
Avionics acknowledging global.
And we have splashdown. The Crew Dragon test article has splashed down just offshore from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. This view from Dragon.
Dragon is in water landing.
Avionics acknowledging global.
And the three
This
parachutes.
concludes the Dragon Pad Abort Test. All stations proceed to recovery operations on launch vehicle net.
Gently lowering into the water. And launch conductor Aaron Beck announced to the team that this concludes the SpaceX Pad Abort Test. This flight test, unlike any seen in Florida since the days of Apollo, with the parachutes floating next to it, the Dragon spacecraft is waiting for two fast boats and a barge to lift it out of the sea, and it will then be brought back to the shore and loaded onto a truck for transport to McGregor, Texas, where it will be inspected, cleaned, and readied for another more demanding flight test planned later this year. SpaceX engineers will pore over the telemetry and other data recorded during today's flight test to evaluate the launch abort system and Super Draco engines. And NASA's Commercial Crew Program experts also will help evaluate the results as the development of one of the new generation of American spacecraft continues on pace. In the coming months, the SpaceX team will put the Crew Dragon through an in-flight abort test that will again put the Super Draco engines and the spacecraft through a simulated emergency. That test will take place on the opposite coast of the United States. It will take place from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. So with the Dragon having lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 and splashed down in the Atlantic Ocean, we will conclude our coverage. This is Dragon Test Control.